Influencer marketing is now a $21 billion industry.
And brands are pouring more money into it every single year, even though studies show that up to 80% of influencer campaigns fail to deliver meaningful return on investment.
So why does the money keep flowing?
The answer reveals something genuinely uncomfortable about how modern marketing actually works. In the next 10 minutes, you are going to discover how influencer marketing went from a niche experiment to a global economic force, what the real numbers look like behind the polished posts, and the one truth that brands, agencies, and influencers themselves rarely want to admit out loud.
Because the gap between what influencer marketing promises and what it actually delivers is much wider than anyone in the industry will tell you. Stay with us, because by the end of this, you will see the entire model differently. To understand where we are today, you have to go back to the early 2000s. Blogging was the original influencer economy.
People with niche expertise, cooking, fitness, travel, tech, built loyal audiences through written content.
Brands noticed.
They started sending free products to bloggers, hoping for a mention.
It was informal, unregulated, and remarkably effective precisely because it felt authentic. Readers trusted bloggers in a way they had never trusted traditional advertisements. That trust was the foundation of everything that came after. Then YouTube arrived.
By 2010, creators like PewDiePie and Michelle Phan were building audiences in the tens of millions. The word influencer was not yet common vocabulary, but the mechanics were already in place. A person with a camera, a personality, and a consistent posting schedule could command attention that television networks were spending hundreds of millions of dollars to capture. Brands started formalizing their relationships with these creators. Paid integrations, sponsored videos, dedicated promotional slots. The informal free product arrangement evolved into structured contracts. Instagram changed everything again. When the platform launched in 2010 and exploded through the early 2010s, it created a new format for influence aspirational lifestyle imagery.
You did not need to be funny or technically skilled. You needed to look like you were living the life your audience wanted.
Fashion brands, beauty companies, and luxury goods companies flooded in. The influencer economy found its aesthetic home, and it has never left. By 2019, the global influencer marketing industry was valued at approximately $6.5 billion. By 2022, that number had nearly tripled to $16.4 billion. The projection for 2024 sits at $21 to $24 billion depending on the research firm you reference.
These are not vanity numbers. This is real advertising budget being redirected from television, print, and search into individual creators. The shift is structural, not cyclical. But here is what nobody talks about: most of that money is being spent with surprisingly little accountability. The influencer marketing measurement problem is one of the industry's dirtiest secrets. Traditional advertising has decades of infrastructure for measuring performance. Influencer marketing does not. Brands often rely on engagement rates, reach figures, and impressions provided directly by the influencer or their management team. The problem is that these numbers are extraordinarily easy to manipulate. The fake follower industry is worth an estimated $1 billion annually.
In 2019, a study from the cybersecurity firm Check estimated that influencer fraud cost brands approximately $1.3 billion in a single year. That figure has only grown since then. So how big is the fraud problem really? HypeAuditor, one of the leading analytics platforms for influencer marketing, analyzed over 10 million Instagram accounts in 2023. Their findings were striking. Approximately 55% of Instagram influencer accounts showed signs of inauthentic activity, fake followers, purchased engagement, or bot interactions.
More than half.
That means a brand investing in influencer marketing has, statistically, a coin flip chance of working with someone whose audience is at least partially fabricated. But fake followers are only part of the story.
Even when audiences are completely real, the conversion question remains unanswered for most brands. Likes and comments do not automatically translate into purchases.
The influencer marketing industry has enthusiastically adopted engagement rate as its primary success metric, but engagement rate measures interest, not intent. A post can go viral with hundreds of thousands of likes and generate almost zero sales. This disconnect is well documented but rarely highlighted by agencies whose fees are tied to campaign execution rather than measurable outcomes. The tier system inside influencer marketing is where things get genuinely interesting. The industry divides creators into four main categories: mega influencers with more than 1 million followers, macro influencers between 100,000 and 1 million, micro influencers between 10,000 and 100,000, and nano influencers below 10,000. Conventional wisdom said bigger is better. The data says otherwise. Multiple studies from platforms including Later, Sprout Social, and Influencer Marketing Hub have consistently found that micro and nano influencers generate higher engagement rates, higher conversion rates, and significantly lower cost per acquisition than their larger counterparts. The reason is trust, the same factor that made bloggers effective in 2005. When someone has 12,000 followers, most of those followers actually know them or feel like they do. The relationship is personal. A recommendation from that creator feels like advice from a friend rather than an advertisement. Brands that have shifted budget toward micro-influencer campaigns at scale have reported dramatically improved results. One study by Nielsen found that 63% of consumers trust influencer opinions over brand advertisements. But that trust decays rapidly as audience size grows and the creator feels more like a celebrity and less like a peer. Platform dynamics complicate the picture further. TikTok's rise fundamentally disrupted the established influencer hierarchy. On Instagram and YouTube, audience size was the primary currency. TikTok's algorithm made content quality the dominant factor. An account with 5,000 followers could reach 5 million people on a single video. This democratized influence in a way that panicked established creators and forced brands to rethink their entire approach. TikTok's Creator Fund, despite its controversies, it paid some creators fractions of a cent per thousand views, signaled a platform taking financial responsibility for its creator ecosystem. TikTok Shop, launched in the United States in 2023, has started integrating shopping directly into the content experience, pushing influencer marketing towards something closer to direct-to-consumer retail. Early data suggests conversion rates on TikTok Shop significantly outperform traditional affiliate link structures. So what does the future of influencer marketing actually look like? Several trends are converging simultaneously. First, regulation is tightening. The Federal Trade Commission in the United States has significantly increased enforcement of disclosure requirements. The United Kingdom's Advertising Standards Authority issued hundreds of enforcement actions between 2020 and 2023. The era of subtle, undisclosed sponsored content is closing. This is good for consumers but creates friction for brands who depended on content that blurred the line between organic recommendation and paid placement. Second, artificial intelligence is entering the creator economy in multiple directions. AI-generated virtual influencers like Lil Miquela, which has over 3 million Instagram followers, have moved from novelty to measurable business. Brands like Calvin Klein and Samsung have run campaigns with virtual influencers. These AI characters never have a bad day, never get caught in a scandal, and are available for any brief at any time. Their engagement rates are competitive with human creators in many categories. The philosophical implications of millions of people following and emotionally connecting with content generated by a machine are significant and largely unexplored. Third, long-term partnerships are replacing one-off sponsorships as the preferred brand strategy. The data on this is clear. A creator who mentions a brand once in a sponsored post generates temporary visibility. A creator who consistently integrates a brand into their content over 12 to 18 months generates something closer to brand equity. Audiences begin associating the creator with the brand at a subconscious level, which is exactly what traditional brand advertising was always trying to accomplish. The fundamental reality of influencer marketing in 2024 is this: the industry is real, the money is real, and the potential is real. But it is also an industry built on a measurement gap that benefits everyone except the brands doing the spending. Influencers benefit from inflated metrics. Agencies benefit from opaque performance standards. Platforms benefit from advertising revenue regardless of campaign outcomes. The brands are the ones absorbing the risk, and many of them are only now developing the internal expertise to evaluate what they are actually buying. The companies that win in this space are the ones treating influencer marketing like any other performance channel, setting clear KPIs before campaigns launch, investing in analytics infrastructure, prioritizing creator authenticity over raw reach numbers, and building relationships rather than buying impressions. The $21 billion number is not going to shrink. But how intelligently that money gets spent is an entirely different question.
Before you go, if you learned something new today, hit that like button right now. It genuinely helps this channel grow. Subscribe to Trend Now Daily for a new video every single day. We will see you in the next one.